Okay, so let's get you set up if you don't have an Android device. And so therefore you'll need to use something called an emulator to do that for the MIT App Inventor. So if you go to this URL, appinventor.mit.edu/explore/AI2/setup, and you'll see on this page at the top it says setup App Inventor. And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see three options appearing on the page. And the option that we're interested in is option 2, which is don't have an Android device, use the emulator. So if you click on the link for the instructions, it'll take us to another page which says installing and running the emulator in AI2. So if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see where it says step 1, install the App Inventor setup software. And underneath there are 3 links. And of course, we have to click the link that's relevant to the operating systems that are on the machines that we're using. So for example, I'm on a Windows machine, so I would click on the Windows link. And if I go to this page, then you'll see scrolling down just a little bit, there'll be an option, a link here that I can click to download the installer. Now we can go back and look at for the Mac operating system, and you'll see a very similar thing where there'll be some links here for downloading an installer. And then there'll even be some further guidelines on how running through the wizard, the installation setup, and so on. So you'll do that either on whichever operating system you're on, Mac or Windows. So if I do that on Windows, I click here, and then if I click on the download installer, you'll see that it'll start to install that installer for us. So once we get that step done, then we can go open up the installer, and we'll do that next. All right, so once you have the installer downloaded onto your system, and of course I have a Windows system, so you're going to see what it looks like on the Windows, but it's going to be very similar. For example, on a Mac, you should have also downloaded an installer, and what you want to do is you need to run that installer. Now on the Windows system, I recommend that you run it by right-clicking and choosing the option to run as an administrator. And the reason for that is so that you can avoid some of the potential hiccups with software installation. Depending on what the software accesses, it could be a problem if you don't have administrative access. So if you're able to do it this way, this is what I recommend. So run as administrator. If I click on this, it's going to launch the installer. Then you'll proceed to going through all the steps. Now, I'm not going to actually go through the installation because I've already installed it and I don't want to do it again. But you can see, once you open up the wizard that will step you through, you just follow this and go all the way through, and this will install the actual emulator software that you need to run. All right, so once you do complete the installer, or once the installer completes, you should see it, for example, on the Windows, you'll see that it will have installed something called little AI starter. And that's going to be sitting here on the desktop, for example. And this is the software that's going to run with your development apps, so that you can actually run and see real time the operation of all of the apps that you're working on. Okay, so this is how you get the emulator installed. And then of course when we go into, we'll probably do this later, but when we are actually inside of the MIT App Builder software platform, then how you connect to it. We can do that by connecting and running this software. Okay, so I hope that helps with getting the emulator installed. All right, thanks.